So first we're going to start off here with our demand. So demand is going to exist only if someone is willing and able. These are the rules that are necessary in order for someone to actually buy a good. Something to remember is our opportunity cost here. And that's whenever we purchase something or decide to do something, we always forego something else. So if I spend all of my money buying a car, I have now foregone the ability to buy computers or to rent an apartment or do anything else that I would rather spend that money on. Our demand schedule is just going to be numerical data representing demand. So just a table showing the quantities of a good a consumer is willing and able to buy. So here's our demand schedule. And you can see that as we go from point A to I, our price here is decreasing. But, so here's our price. Here's our quantity. And notice our quantity is increasing. As we go from A to I. So to see this in a graph, it's going to show us this downward sloping line. This line here is our demand curve. Now, notice when we go from point A to point I, our price drops. Up here on the top left corner, we have price. And down here on the bottom left hand corner, we have our quantity. And it's our quantity demanded. So notice as our price is dropping here, we go from 50 all the way down to 10. Our quantity demanded is increasing. We go from 1 all the way up to 20. So with the demand curve, price goes down, quantity demanded will increase. This is showing an inverse relationship. This inverse relationship is because of our law of demand. So for the definitions here, our demand curve is just our graphical illustration of the actual demand schedule. Law of demand, remember that's telling us the inverse relationship between price and quantity. So if price goes down, quantity is going to go up. Our determinants of demand here, this is going to be what actually causes demand to change. So we could have tastes, or just how much you desire something, income of the consumer, other goods availability and price, expectations, whether you expect your income to change within the future, prices, or your taste to change, and then the number of buyers. Ceteris paribus, I talked about earlier, how assume nothing else changes, holding all else constant. And this is so we can just focus on the relationship between our two variables. So just focus on the relationship of the price of the good or service and the quantity demanded for that good or service. So when we're thinking about changes in actual demand, we show those changes by actually shifting the demand curve. Here we can see we have this original dotted line demand. So we can call this D1, which here is our initial demand. And then when we have a change in our income, other goods, or expectations, for example, then this could increase our demand. So if we shift to the right, that means we're increasing this demand. But if we move along the curve, say from D1 here to D3, all that happens is a change in our prices. So we see our price drop, and then we also have this increase in our quantity demanded.